Welcome into the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where we continue our streak of rivalry games and streak of away games at that, as we travel down south to face USC Trojans. And very similar to last episode against Notre Dame, USC has not had a great start. They beat FCS East very handedly, that expected. They then slipped up against Fresno State in a surprising 2017 loss. They then lost to Oregon 2017, but that a little bit more likely as Oregon is ranked. Their next loss went to Arizona, another ranked team, 35-20. And really the only team that they've beat of higher caliber is Washington, 34-13. But Washington is 2-5 this season. And a potential reason why USC is struggling is they made a decision this year to switch quarterbacks. Shannon Tam has been getting this start. A little bit under 1,900 passing yards, 10 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. They went to him over Oscar Cotton, who had been their prior starter for the last couple seasons. They also have a younger quarterback in Ty Temple, who's 82 overall, higher than Cotton, just under Tam if they look to go a new direction. Perhaps it'll be with Temple. In the rushing game, Tevin Hendricks, he's had a lot of good games against us. He's not having a good senior season, averaging just over 3 yards per carry, but he does have 5 touchdowns. Where the team is seeing success is their passing game. Niles Gano leads them with 588 yards, only 2 touchdowns. With the same amount of receptions, you have Xavier Jordan, who has 491 yards, but 5 touchdowns. We'll also see a little bit of Eberle and Booty at tight end. Offensively, this is a team that has some highlight players. Sione Lowe leads them in tackles at linebacker. They are picking up a decent amount of TFL, Stump, Nuvi, and Rivera all with 3. They also pick up sacks, Stump and Rivera putting in work there. A few interceptions for them in Jennings and Gallegos. And they don't have too bad of a kicker either in Sam McLaughlin, who has hit a 48-yarder, 85% this season. But they are facing the number 3 offense in the Pac-12. Third in passing, just behind USC, but the rushing is the clear difference, as USC is under 500. Meanwhile, Stanford about to surpass 1,000. And first down wise, no one converts more than we do. And for Coach Barrington, he's looking to avoid the trap game for the second straight week, as we are underway. ETN with the boot. This one will take it all the way to the end zone and returning it. Trying to find that cutback lane, but Adkins is there. They will be starting at the 10. And with 10 touchdowns to 10 interceptions for their new starting quarterback, the Cardinal ought to be looking to get on top of him early here. Starting 1st and 10. And handing this one off, Hendricks. He slips the tackle of Rico Coat and bursts forward for a gain of 12. He's been another one of those players who have struggled out the gate this year, and as a senior, we all know he's looking to put together a good portfolio. They swing it out to him. Sumlin brings him down with a loss of 1. He's a senior for the Cardinal who has definitely stepped up this year. 2nd and 11, USC goes spread wide. With a pass to the left side and caught for the first down, Eberle. A good start for the Trojans, answering to their mistakes from the past games here. 1st and 10, they get a hard count, no one jumps. And then RPO swinging it out, good juke, but he can't stay in bounds. Will end up being a short gain, they give him 1. 2nd and 9, and sending the pressure, Cantwell picks up the sack. He's been great while healthy, but that has been his issues this year, is staying healthy. But as for this game in particular, a good start brings up a 3rd and 16 back at the 27. Trips go to the right-hand side as they look to set up the screen, and it is dropped by Nelson, nearly picked off, does force the punt. And after the hot start from USC, their drive quickly ends. Our offense takes over at the 37. Avant scrambles, he looks to find Blauset, who gets the catch, and ball comes out late. Ball still on the ground, and eventually Blauset gets it. So whether that was a fumble or not, doesn't really matter. Only affects the stat book. Cardinal stay in charge here with a 1st and 10. They get motion for the tight end. Parrish, he takes it to the outside. Haddad trying to pick up the block. Great job from 45. to break that block. Keeps the Parrish run, what was a good run, from being a touchdown run. 1st and 10 now at the 22, a short motion. And stepping up, looking to run Avant. He's got a slight lane, but it closes around him at the 5. Coach Barrington talked about keeping him clean after the last game. Not exactly starting off that way with the scramble, but picks up a nice chunk along the way. And then throwing under pressure and nearly picked off. A risky throw, to say the least, there from Avant. 2nd and goal. Cardinal with the pulling guards and coming up about half an inch shy of the end zone. Does bring up a 3rd and goal for the Cardinal. Dog checks in at running back. Lucas at fullback. And a big stop from 92, Cole Finger. But the offense for the Cardinals stay on out. 4th and goal now at the 2. Hard count will be a free play as they jumped early. And another penalty that could have came in there. They bumped Blousset on his route. Ball still probably not catchable. But due to that penalty, they will have another chance here. 4th and goal again at the 1-yard line. They spread empty, draft in at quarterback. He hands it off and Parrish can trot on in. Cardinal finally knock it into the end zone. And they capitalize after stopping a promising drive from the Trojans, taking the lead here 7-0. And that continues an impressive stretch of games where the Cardinal have found early success on offense. Trojans need to find that here to capitalize, continuing off what was a great start and a breakup from Hennessy. They were looking for Gano, who has been with their best deep target this year. Good one-on-one battles there. Empty set here. Nelson with a little bit of pressure dumps it off to Boutte. He picks up 7. That leaves another 3rd down needed to be converted here by the Trojans. They bring the pressure, and they got their receiver down the seam. Mark Huck beat. Not too often are you going to see that. The track athlete in slot corner got burned. And it's Xavier Jordan, the guy who leads the Trojans in touchdowns, making the big play. And just like that, we are all tied up here in LA. 7-7 offense takes the field here at the 21 as they start with a run. Parrish, he's going to find a couple, but his few runs today have been pretty successful. 4 carries, 27 yards. Those are out in the pistol set. Biting in on the run fake, they get it out to Moses. Pick up an extra 3. That does still leave the Cardinal a little bit behind the chains. 3rd and 5 needed. And early movement coming from that left end. We'll see if that's enough for the 1st down. They do get Rivera on the jump, and it is just enough for that 1st down. So at the 31, a fresh set here. Blousset, slight motion on the right-hand side. And dumping it off to Lucas, the fullback, he picks up 3. Seems like Avant really trying to get that ball out quickly on these plays. 2nd and 7 as they go with a play action roll and throwing cross grain, and it's behind Blousset. It gets picked off. He had him if he let him. But that's not the case here. Trojans take over at the 44 thanks to 45. It's the senior corner in James Bridgewater. And Tam, who just threw that lofted pass for the touchdown last drive, can come right on out here. Now set to try to take the lead as Hendricks picks up some nice blocks from his receiver, spins back in, takes a couple more hits, but he's down to the 20. And this has always been the problem against USC. We make a couple mistakes and they capitalize quickly. Inside the red zone, bringing the blitz, thrown quickly and knocked away by Camp. Tam read the blitz, got it out quickly to Boutte. He just couldn't hold on to it. 2nd and 10. They go play action, and in between 2 different receiving targets, those force a 3rd and 10 here for the Trojans as that ball's tipped at the line, and they couldn't catch up to it. It will be McLaughlin out here for a field goal attempt, this to take the lead. Picking this one about the 26 will be a 36-yarder, and he sends it down the middle. USC gets 3 off the pick, and now up by that field goal. 16 seconds left in the 1st. Parrish, he takes the handoff, cuts it right, picks up 4. That'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter. And right now, mistakes from both sides have led to points. However, USC has capitalized more often on those, up 10-7 with a long time left in this rivalry matchup. But for the Cardinal and Coach Barrington, expect them to try to answer quickly. They come out two tight ends, motioning Aneni, going from left to right. Parrish stopped in the backfield. Cameron Fountain making the play, and a 3rd and 8. Hard count, 2 players move, and it looks like it's the outside linebacker who initiated the jump from the right tackle. That's now twice Avant has caught the defense getting a little too aggressive. 3rd and 3 as they go with a play action pass to the outside, a little bit behind, and this time it's broken up. But it was the same combination as the previous drive, though 4th and 3 offense stays out. Hard count again. USC jumps early. They are not holding their water out there. And Avant has gotten each of their 3 top defensive linemen to jump in this game, picking up 2 free first downs in the process, making a 3rd down conversion a little bit easier along the way. Scrambling, sliding down, he picks up 9. Avant trying to stay steady here for his Cardinal team. They were looking to flounder a little bit there, trying to correct it. Parrish, nowhere to go. That brings up a 3rd and 1. They bring out Lucas at fullback, Doug at running back. Hand it off, and they're gonna mark him shy. For the 2nd time this drive, the offense stays out there. They're short about half the length of the football. Goal line set, and Avant gets the 1st down, not by much. Perhaps the Cardinal need to do a little bit more here to make these conversions a lot more simpler. 1st and 10. Now rolling to the outside, and the linebackers drop with the receivers. Avant will take the easy yards. A gain of 7 on 1st is never a bad option. They need 3 more for another set of downs here. Parrish, he bounces and finds 4. Running lanes not breaking wide open, but doing enough here for the Cardinal to just continue their drives. Flipping this one out, he's got Aneni, who will turn down the sideline, and they got 9 more. And Aneni's been a great addition to this offense, getting a little bit more tight end work involved. And for Avant, it's very much to help out. That pass completion puts him at 100 this season. The offense have definitely shifted towards that passing game. Though Parrish takes the handoff here, bursting to the outside, utilizing that speed. Spin doesn't work, but he's got the 1st down. He's got the Cardinal inside the 30. As they go RPO, flipping it to the outside, Moses. A decent block there from Haddad. Like that he made sure he didn't hold as well. A smart play there from the senior receiver. Hard count, no one jumps. Avant, he's looking to set up these slants. Doesn't quite open up. Tries to shake around the linebacker. But he does a good job of keeping him contained. Picks up a few, leaves 3rd and 3. Another hard count, and again 2 players move. They're getting USC again. This time it's Gregory Foltz, and they're just taking advantage of an all-too-eager defense. With 2 receivers out there, 2 tight ends as well. And then a lofted up throw, it's picked again! Same guy! Why did Avant throw that? Clearly 45 was sitting all over him. Throw the ball away or take a one-on-one shot the opposite way. Well, for Bridgewater, he could celebrate 2 interceptions in his senior rivalry game. Cardinal got to do better than that. 1st and 10. They try to get Hendricks to the outside. Flo goes with him, keeping that to a 1-yard gain. Well, we've seen a lot of mental errors from USC in penalties. We're seeing mental errors in turnovers here for the Cardinal. As Hendricks takes the carry again, better gain this time, and it will bring up a 3rd and 2. With multiple receivers going to the right-hand side, they hand it off. Hendricks, Richardson couldn't get the angles. Hopping over the tackle of Camp, Sumlin comes over to drag him down. That run takes us inside the 2-minute warning, in USC, they are holding the momentum in this one. Flag down on the short dump-off. But it'll actually go as a 1st down as they get Sony Fotu arriving at the quarterback a little bit late. But the defense answers back the next play, forcing the throwaway. And promptly a 2nd and 10 at the 39. And open across the seam, Rico Coat drops the pick. He did well to shift over and cover that open seam, but he did not take the ball away. And with the turnovers we've already had here on offense, can't allow easy plays. Good job, Marcock. He breaks that one up. It will be another field goal attempt here for McLaughlin. This time, though, a long one. 55 yards, right hash. And that is going straight and missing wide right. He never got the pull on it he needed. And for Avant, he could breathe easy that his second pick did not result in points. 1:40 is all we got left here to try to take the lead before the end of the half. And under pressure, he gets rid of it. USC dialing up that pressure. While it's hurt him, it's also helped him a lot in this one. 2nd and 10 as they look to set up the halfback screen. Ball has to get out before they set it up. And it's another 3rd and long here for the Cardinal. They got Blouse in motion. Swing it out to him, and Haddad did not get the block. It's a quick 3 and out following the missed field goal. But with this scoreboard still locked here at 10-7. Cardinal got to feel a little bit lucky that it's not worse. Good tackle there, Rico Coat. And he found Jordan on the quick drag. Just a gain of 6. They got 2 timeouts remaining as they used one after that last play, and Marcock takes it away. The redshirt freshman, he's looking for space, and he does get dragged down at the 42, but he gives the ball to the Cardinal plus side as they look to finally bounce back on offense. With Marcock getting that pick, he bounces back from the touchdown he gave up earlier. But the offense has to finish this drive. They start with Parrish as he goes down the middle for a short gain. They do only have 2 timeouts, had to use one earlier in this game. They get back to the line quickly with just the gain of 3. Blouse, quick motion. They get a little bit of a rush, but it's out to Blouse, and close to the first down. They don't give it to him. Have to call a timeout there. The refs here in this one definitely being stingy on the markings. I mean, you can just see here the ball looks like it's already past the line to gain. But they hand it off to Parrish as he'll go right down the middle to the 20. And they'll try to get hurry up from there as well. They still have the 1 timeout. Still making changes. Avant trying to get his team set up here. Taking a lot of time off the clock. As they look back, shoulder, Haddad through his hands. He had a foot out of bounds. And that leaves the Cardinal with 1 timeout, 9 seconds. To try to get some points on the board. Take the lead or tie. And floating this one out for Buck. He's going to turn and get out of bounds with 2 seconds left. He was not able to turn that corner. And Etienne sneaks it in that right upright. We tie this game 10-10 as we head into halftime. But for Coach Barrington, you gotta feel lucky that this game is 10-10. USC doesn't take full advantage for all the Cardinal mistakes. And opposite could be said here for the Trojans. They had a lot of penalty miscues in that first half. Cardinal nearly double the time of possession. But it's the defenses making big plays at key times, keeping this game close. The Trojans, they have 6 TFLs on the day, no sacks, 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Stanford, they only have 2 TFLs, have 1 sack, and 1 interception. But with McLaughlin missing that field goal, that is the difference in this one. And for Coach Barrington and the Stanford offense, they look to take advantage of that here as they start the second half with the ball. They could look to take the lead here. Didn't have the opportunity with the time remaining in the last drive. But Parrish has a good run, play 1 to get them started. Picking up 8, they need 2 more here as they look to go back to Parrish, and he is corralled. Newby forced him back in, and it's Rivera making the tackle. 3rd and 5, and they get movement again. USC cannot sit on these hard counts. Right now, Montrell Avant is abusing, really, his hard count to get as much free yardage as possible. Throw to the outside, they get it to Haddad. He'll pick up a few. We're definitely seeing this offense running a little bit differently than how we have the previous few games. We're not seeing as much air balls, potentially due to all the weird passes they were getting earlier. But Moses, he takes this around the edge, and he picks up a big gain. Stanford utilizes 3 underclassmen in that receiving group. They have Haddad, who's the senior, Blouse, and then the other 2 are either sophomore or freshmen. And under pressure, the ball gets flipped out somehow to Parrish. I don't think he was out on a route, nor do I think that was a screen intended for him. He catches it and loses 8. Offense now behind the chains again, but they get Buck into open space. He turns up this time, picking up some big yardage just out prior hitting that 20-yard line. But that has been the key to success for the Stanford offense this year. They've had a lot of hiccups along the way, but they make the big plays when they've got to have it. Parrish runs again. He picks up 2. USC's defense can be pretty stingy at times. He'll have a few small ones, then hit that big one. 2nd and 8, it's Dog. He's got a little lane, but Newby with a clean tackle. And the crowd here for the Trojans begging their defense to make a play. 3rd and 4, hard count, no one jumps. They tried it again. Throwing, it's out for Haddad, and it's through his hands. Bridgewater makes the play again. But surprisingly, here in field goal range, the offense stays on the field. 4th and 4, hard count. They get Newby to jump yet again. They get it out to Buck here at the tight end screen. It's not going to work, but it will still be a first down due to that penalty. And Lincoln Riley has got to be furious on the sideline. Another fresh set of downs. As it is Gordon Drafton at quarterback. He'll take this one down to the 5. Of course, defenses know when he steps in, you got to keep an eye out on him. 2nd and 3. Draft keeps it again, puts the spin move on, but more Trojans waiting there. With a 3rd and 1, Avant back in at quarterback. Waits to the last second, and it's a stop in the backfield. They tried another option play. This time, Etienne set up almost dead to right. They will bring him on out. And eventually, they settle for the field goal, taking the lead since their first drive. But this rivalry game living up to expectation. Tam will hit the field here. 2 receivers to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Hendricks motioning out as they look to set up that orbit screen. Hendricks, he's got him. No gain. Cardinal fly around on defense to 2nd and 10. They go spread empty and quarterback draw. A little bit of some moonwalking mixed in there for Tam. But he picks up 6, makes 3rd down a little bit more manageable here as they still look to pass the ball. Coat, he's flying in, and Tam hurdles him, picking up the first down. Heads up, or more like feet up play there for Tam as Coat tried to just take him out at the legs, limit any forward momentum, but never got a hand on him. 1st and 10. As he's sitting back in the pocket, spinning, trying to get to the outside, tries to spin again, but Sony Fotu, he hits home. Got a little aggressive earlier in this game with a late hit, got a penalty on it. That time, he arrives just in time. And it pushes the Trojans back to the 29. They got 2nd and 19 as they flip it out. And Camp comes down to make the stop. Had Hennessy there as backup. And that leaves a 3rd and 17. And the final few seconds of this half as they set up the screen. They get Hendricks to the outside. He's shifty in open space. But Marcock meets him shy of the line to gain. As the 4th quarter has arrived, your Cardinal are on top, but not by much. It is 13-10. They're a top 4 team. It's time to show it. And it'll all start up front. We need better blocking here. Give our quarterback time to throw if we need it. Give our running back space to run. Or instead, Parrish is just going to keep running into the back of his guard till he finds space. Whatever we got to do to move that ball. Dog checks in here as he runs right into the back of Fowler. Well, leave us with a 3rd and 2. Can 32 get the job done? He runs the ball to the outside. He's got space. 1v1 with a safety. Takes him on, runs through him. Newby's there to help. But it's a big first down run for Montrell Dog, and he seems to be taking over a little bit for Parrish. He had a lot of carries in this one. Flipping this one out, and Nenny, he's going to catch, turn, and pick up 6. Talked earlier about him being able to help open up this offense, and honestly, it's probably helped out Buck a little bit as well. 2nd and 4, and now throwing this one to the outside. It's too far to the outside, and that should have been a penalty on Bridgewater. He's made several big plays in this one, but that was an unnecessary late hit. Dog with a juke to the outside. Newby in pursuit with a big stop and a 4th and 6 outside of field goal range. And as we've seen several times today, offense stays on the field. Hard count, no one jumps. They'll have to get this job done. and they find Nenny, who sits before the hit. He just found a soft spot in the field there, got the first down and sat with it, a smart play. As they look to go to Moses, he's got the first down, turning up, big body guy, all the way down to the 10, as Stumpf is shaken up, one of their top interior guys. And with some of the limited running room we've had down the middle, perhaps this might open things up a little bit. As Parrish checks back in, he'll pick up 4. Cardinal immediately looking to attack that weakened front. The 2nd and 6, they get motion here at Nenny. A little bit of a zig motion at that. Hand this one off Dog. Goes to the outside and gets down to the 4. That leaves them still needing 3 here. As they hand it off, Parrish. He's denied again. They still are not getting that push. A 4th down. They stay on the field. Hard count. They'll get a free play. Dog takes it left side, and it's a touchdown. They could decline the penalty on Rivera. Cardinal, they go up by 10. A big drive from the Cardinal, but now the Trojans, they're going to need an even bigger drive. They are down 20-10, 3:40, and now counting. As they throw to the outside, intended for Eberle. It's knocked away by Antonio Asher. 2nd and 10. Tam still looking to pass this ball as he goes right back to it. Same play. This time just a different player knocking it away in Richardson. It's 3rd and 10. 2-go spread either side. Tam had a curl set up left side. He's going to look to scramble, and he gets the bite on the outside from Richardson. Cuts back in. A big scramble for the first down, keeping USC still in this one, though we do move inside 3.5 minutes. Trips go to the right-hand side for the Trojans. And all the way to the outside, keeping them inbounds at least, short of the line to gain. Xavier Jordan with that play. He's the only one to score a touchdown at least for the Trojans in this one. And looking to scramble again, but runs into the big guy down the middle. It's been a couple weeks since we've mentioned Howerton, Cantwell, and we've had rotation at that spot as well. Have been making some big plays, and too tall for both Booty and Coat. And that's now twice they've had that route open, just couldn't quite hit it quick enough. Sampson comes in, provides a little bit of pressure, but it's out 1v1, and Asher gets the pick intended for Eberle. That just might be the nail in the coffin. They went 1v1, and our 3rd-year starter makes the play. All the Cardinal will have left to do is milk that clock. 2:37. They hand this one off. Montrell Dog. He's going to pick up a few. It's been a good battle in this one between the front lines. With 2nd and 7. They go play action. They got a receiver deep downfield. Blouse with a step, and he's got it by Bridgewater. That gotta be the actual nail in the coffin. Cardinal go up by 17 late on here in the 4th quarter. And getting that on Bridgewater has got to feel good for both Blouse and for our quarterback in Montrell Avant. And the Cardinal pull away in the 4th quarter, picking up a big rivalry win 2 weeks in a row. And they're continuing to chip away at the all-time USC Stanford rivalry record. And Deshaun Blouse, he's going to take home the player of the game. 4 catches, 101, and a touchdown. And honestly, it could have been more, as the 2 interceptions by Bridgewater were intended for Blouse, but also 77 of those yards all came off that touchdown to put this game away. Both had players that would have earned that player of the game, but it's ultimately a big win for the Cardinal. And with that win, we continually add on more and more 5 stars. Paul Thrash, the receiver out of Gardena, California, he joins the Cardinal. Additionally, we land the #1 recruit in all of college football, Alex Augustine. Out of Alabama, he's going to play anywhere along that defensive front. And not having to block against him will be Cliff Robinson out of Pennsylvania, another 5-star tackle. But focusing so much on those 5 stars does mean we're going to lose some 4 stars. And unfortunately, one of the first ones that we lose out to is Cortez Braverman. He was the #1 strong safety in this recruiting class. There just weren't any 5 stars for us to really go after there, so that is a big miss. If he does look to flip his commit later, that would be great. We also end up missing out on Diego Vela, who was a power rusher. Now, he was the 27th ranked, so it's not as big of a loss, but he was a gem, so we were trying to bring him in. But we're still looking very good here for these 5 stars, and we're getting close to getting a few more visits in. Jason Blair, he's probably a week away from committing, and as we're heading into week 9, I would love for him to commit this week before he even heads into Maryland. The last other guy we're waiting on here is Darren Sturm, and he is close to coming on a visit. We've already landed 2 receivers. If we land 3, this receiving core is going to be insane for years to come because we got a lot of young talent. As for the 4 stars, we are doing pretty well for a lot of these guys. We're still in some battles. Obviously, for some of these guys, we've lost out on one. We do get a nice jump here on Valerio, who is another tackle. Not exactly someone that I think we have to bring in, but we could look to bring him in as a power guy. He could slide into guard, especially by the fact that it looks like Evanson is going to be committing to Arizona State. Arizona State is doing very well in recruiting this year. We're in a battle here for trainer. He might be committing to Cal later, so we're going to hold tight on some of these offensive linemen, and hopefully we do end up landing some. And we're going to start focusing even more on some of these other guys, as there is a little bit more of a race heating up here for Selvia. The tight end class, not very strong here. We want to land one of the best. Well, that does round out a very, very strong start here for us in the first almost 3 quarters of our season. The only mistake was that Colorado game, but they are up to 9, so they've proven themselves as being a good team yet again. As we come back from our bye, we will have 4 more games to wrap up this season before we head hopefully into Pac-12 championship, into the playoffs, and so on and so forth. We got Arizona next. They are ranked. Washington, who has not had a good year, they are 3-5. Then we have our chance at Oregon. Early on in this season, there was a lot of talk from Coach Barrington about Oregon stealing that Pac-12 championship spot from us. They got blown out by Colorado. Obviously, they beat us in that previous season, and we want revenge on that because that is what kept us out of that Pac-12 championship despite such a good year. So that game circled on the calendar, and then we have San Jose State. But we first have to make sure we take care of Arizona. And to make sure you don't miss it, hit that bell icon in the bottom right or scroll down and hit that sub button. You can also tap on the bell icon as well so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have the Jaguars franchise over on Madden on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So a lot of action headed your way, as next time we'll be coming off of our bye week, returning to Palo Alto and hosting the Wildcats.